going on YouTube? Ryan, North Georgia RC. We've got another build on the bench today. This is the Vanquish H10 Optic kit. It's got the one of 6 liveries that you picked at random, and then they've got the, they call it the rare variant, exclusive variant, which is the carbon fiber panels. I did not get that one. I've already opened it to see what's inside, but this has got the new scale H10 axles that have the, instead of a tie rod that goes from knuckle to knuckle, you've got the tie rods that go into a scale like hydraulic ram system. So we'll get into that when we start building this thing. But yeah, I mean, it's got a VFD transmission with 6.5% overdrive out of the box, out of the kit, out of the box as well when you buy the RTRs. So let's get into this, start tearing this apart, and start building it. Anyways, we've got the H10 Optic kit. Like I said, I've already cut it open to see what livery I got, livery, however you say it. And it just so happens to be the gray panels, which have the carbon fiber type stickers, which I don't know if it's on here or not. Yeah, it's cut off on the edge of the box. Which I was really drawn towards that one. Oh shoot, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. I was really drawn towards that one, the Battleborn, or this Huff, Huff Racing, Huff something. But nonetheless, we're gonna go ahead and break all this open, dig into it. We'll set these body panels to the side. We're gonna do this in one swoop. I'm not gonna do a multi-series kit solely because there's already been people that are building these online. But from what I've seen, I haven't seen any real in-depth videos. So we're just gonna go ahead and start tearing into this. I'm gonna do as in-depth as I can without making a 2-hour long video. We'll try to keep this under an hour. So yeah, first, obviously, A and B, front and rear axles. Those will be first. Got your instruction booklet here with your stickers for your panels. And it's also got a spare parts bag. Let's see. So you got your stickers. You got the carbon fiber look to them. They're just not the carbon fiber panels. Not a big deal to me. I'm not going to be like some of those people on the internet that are paying $350 for a set of panels. I know Vidavon just released some carbon fiber panels that kind of look like the Capra panels that are in carbon fiber for 75 bucks. Still not going to do it. These are just fine. Got some interior scale stickers and spare parts kit. Looks like you got some ball ends, a nut, some body clips, a couple pins, and some E-clips, which are always good to see as spare parts. Set those off to the side. Nice, shiny, ooh, shiny, that's good. Instruction booklet tells you what you'll need. Let's get some of this other stuff out of the way. That's the cage. Drive shaft. Now, I bought the Incision drive shafts, the metal ones. Not that I've ever damaged a plastic one, at least not in a while. I just figured it's the kit. It's already got better stuff in the kit than it does come in the RTR. So why not make it even better? So first page, you know, pliers, grease, thread locker, one of these dudes, and some tools. And I got in my TOF in December, I think it was, I got these limited edition, what are these, metric tools, and then I bought some standard tools. So first things first, we're gonna dive right into this front axle. You want to make sure that you don't tighten these retainer screws too much, because then it binds up the pinion. I did that, that's why I just loosened it. So yeah, there it is. Alright, also, make sure you get the orientation of the servo right. The horn will not go past this big, near this big plastic piece. Come on, focus. This big plastic piece here. This is what attaches to the axle, and this needs to be on the back side. So I don't understand why they give you these big spacers here instead of just shorter screws, but whatever. Alright, just like that, front axle is installed along with the servo. My servo horn's not centered up, so I just put it on there loosely to be able to get everything to fit. I do have these small washers that actually go on top of here where this ram is, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those back. I have 2 extra screws, not sure why. I'm gonna run back through the instructions real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, that's assembly for the front axle. Now let's do the rear. All right, we've got the rear axle now. It's a lot more simpler than the front axle, so it should go a lot faster. I love how Vanquish gives you these little scale tools, because you've got this little red oil filler cap. So we're gonna go ahead and put that into the axle, and it just screws in. But the little tool is perfect to keep from marring up this little red scale oil filler cap, instead of having to use a pair of pliers and scratching it all up, because it is red anodized aluminum, and it scratches, you know, decently easy. But that's the scale oil filler, pretty sweet. And just like that, rear axle assembled. These go together so much faster than the fronts. The fronts are just my least favorite to build. Now if you can hear, that's all in your drive or your pinion spacing shimming. So you have to shim it to pull it out more, and then it won't make those rubbing sounds. So don't be alarmed if it's making rubbing sounds when you're doing that. It's because the drive shaft isn't installed and there's no shim there. So that is the rear axle. Next is bag C, and bag C is the VFD transmission. I'll go ahead and open this and talk about it for a second. Now it's the transmission and the skid. So the transmission is the same as the other VFDs, and I will link in the description my build video for the multiple VFDs that I've put together. The only difference is you get a aluminum motor plate. It's got the Vanquish logo on it. It's pretty cool. You also get some metal standoffs that go between the front of the transmission and the motor plate. And then you also get this machined lightweight aluminum slipper clutch eliminator pad thing. And then your interior bearing retainers are also lightweight aluminum. I mean, they weigh next to nothing. I'm pretty sure they're even lighter than the plastic. So I'm gonna build the transmission, and then I will come back and we will do, you know, put it in on the skid and all of the other components that come in this bag C. All right, guys. So we've got the transmission put together. It went together a lot better than any other VFD transmission I've built, but I guess when you're on number 6, it goes pretty smooth. So now we're just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you guys watch this. I'm not really gonna talk about it. The instructions are fairly straightforward. It tells you what screws go where, but basically you've got these little boat runners on the side, and the transmission bolts down into the skid like every other VFD or VS410, and the VFD bolting into the skid. You just got a couple extra parts that go on the side and the top for the receiver. I'm not going to put my motor in it yet because I don't have it. It'll be here, I think, Tuesday. So I'll just have to pull it back out when I put the motor back in, but that'll be the very last of this video. I'll go ahead and pull it back out, put the motor in, throw the wheels on it and the panels, and let you guys see what it looks like. Because sneak peek, but these are the wheels that I've picked. They're bronze 1.9 Battleborns with a bronze beadlock, or not orange, gold IFR ring with a black 475 hub, black scale hardware for the SLW hub, and black hardware for, or scale hardware for the beadlock ring. So that's what's going on this. But the tires and motor and a few other parts will be here on Tuesday, unless USPS gets their head out of their ass and brings it here Monday like it's supposed to be. But just follow along. I'm going to speed through this. I'll fast forward it during the editing process, but I'm going to go ahead and slam this back together. Alright, and that is the VFD transmission onto the skid with these little humdingers. And this is your ESC plate. Your ESC will sit on there. Don't know what this little flappy doodad does yet. Maybe it's just got a hole in it so that you can get to that screw to pull the transmission back out. But we'll see. Next step is shocks. I'll leave a link in the description below, solely because I'm not using these shocks. I've built them multiple times on other videos. I haven't had much luck with these Vanquish shocks, even on the Ultra. They just piss fluid. So did some research and talked to some other guys online, and I bought some Traxxas GTS 90mm shocks in black. So those are supposed to be here whenever the motor shows up. Also, next step after that is drive shafts. I'm not doing the drive shafts either. I ordered the Incision all metal drive shaft, like I said before, so that's going in. Links, I'm not going to record the links. There'll be a link in the description below for that as well, as I've built many links. Okay, so here we are. Got all the bags opened. Got all the anxiety present with just the mess of everything because I got too much other stuff on my table. So we're gonna go ahead and start. Oh shit! Start assembling this cage and whatnot. Try to move some stuff out of the way. This is probably gonna take a little bit longer than I want it to, solely because there's just the mass amount of parts and non-organization. But another cool thing, where to go? The fuel cell that goes in the back. Got, you know, the little red doodad, which is on the axle. It's a fuel, or on the axle it's a oil fill. On the fuel cell it's your gas door. Get this on, or not your gas door, but your gas cap, I guess. Pretty sweet. So we got this guy, the cage, and that's about enough talking out of me. We're gonna go ahead and slam this thing together, watch this time lapse, see how many times I mess up, because I'm gonna leave it in there. That way you guys can see, if you go fast, you're gonna mess up. Even if you go slow, sometimes you mess up because, well, you get anxious and you wanna see it done because you wanna go drive it. But we won't be driving this for a little while. I got our buddy with Cody with Templar RC. He's building an Optic as well. He's gonna build his way, I'm gonna build mine my way. And then we're gonna make a video on straight from the garage to the trail, how they perform, his build versus my build. And yeah, I mean, this will be the first time either one of us drive an Optic, so it'll be nice to see. Alright, so that's how the cage goes together. Looks pretty cool. I stopped and put the stickers on, so you got the Sparko stickers for the straps, the gloss black sticker for the helmet, the cuffs on the sleeves that say Sparko, and then the gauges and everything. It's pretty cool. It's got this little scale air tank on it. Probably end up taking that off and painting it, maybe like a chrome color or blue or something, or gray. Okay, so the postwoman came, and brought me my motor, my shocks, and the tires. These real sticky J Concept Tusks. I went ahead and poked 4 holes in them, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the tread to help with venting. It's got the Three Brothers Anti-Foam V2s in them with these bronze Battleborn wheels like I showed before. Now the next step is to go ahead and put this cage onto the lower part of the chassis, and we're going to go ahead and start doing that. Okay, so if you remember, I said I was going to be running the Traxxas GTS shocks instead of the factory H10 Optic shocks, and I had to go ahead and swap out the lower ball link for the proper ones that have the standoff on them. And then what I just did was I swapped out this upper pivot ball because it is entirely too long, and the screws that this kit comes with for the upper part of the shock mounting is just different, so it's a lot smaller. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap these out real quick and put the rest of these shocks on. Alright, so that is all the shocks installed. I like my shocks slow. This will have to be a test. I'll have to test run this out in the field because that It's 80 weight shock oil in these Traxxas shocks, and it might be a little too slow for my liking. But just know that most VS4 or VFD transmissions, when you bolt the motor plate cover to the face, it goes down from the top. This one actually goes in from the bottom, so that's always a good thing to remember. You got your one screw here and your two on the sides. I don't know if you can see them or not. They're down in there, but you'll have to make sure that you take those two out before you pull these three to pull the cage off. So that's always a good thing to remember. And then let's zoom you back out somehow. There we go. And next we are going to start putting the panels on here. I've went ahead and put the stickers on. Let's go ahead and give these a look-see. Get this shit out of here. So I'm not the best at putting stickers on. I've seen a lot of people use the Windex method, where you just soak everything down in Windex and you lay this on and then you squeegee it out, but that was after the fact that I put the stickers on. So we're going with a little bit of crooked stickers. Not a big deal. Doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, goodbye. Yeah, so these panels will start going on and it'll start looking complete, and we'll throw the wheels and tires on, so keep watching. Alright, so that is one side panel with your Velcro straps for the battery. Now, everything that I've read and everything that I've seen, everybody says that the H10 Optic battery compartments will hold these Genzace Adventure 3600 3S. So I went ahead and bought some. There's one already opened. Went ahead and bought two. And if you see, it doesn't fit. Now, what you have to do, which I don't like, which I might end up routering out some of this plastic so that the wires don't catch like that, but you just kind of stick it in there on the side. Go ahead and Velcro it in. And then what you do next is you take the chassis, and those first pieces that you put on hook around this little lip right here, like so, somehow, and then it pushes in, and then you've got these pins, plastic bars, which would be nice if somebody made aluminum, but those slide down in it. When it sits like that, it doesn't look like the wires catch anything in there. I'll have to really get in there and take a look at it, but that's what she'll look like with the panels on the side and the battery in there. And just like I said, I'll have to play around with how it fits in there with these batteries, since I bought them specifically for this H10 Optic, because that's what the internet said, and lo and behold, the internet might have lied, which is not a big deal. We can finesse this and make it do what we want it to do, so not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. Those batteries are like $51 a piece, but they're Genzace batteries. I love the hell out of Genzace batteries, so yeah, we will keep on trucking. Okay, well, while I was over here talking to myself, pay attention to the instructions, because these hood screws are the M3s, not the 2.5s, and I'll show you these. Oh shit, these 2.5s are itty bitty, small diameter, and the M3s, which aren't even a 2 or 1.5 head, they're a 2. They are a lot bigger in girth, so those are the ones that go on the hood, and the smaller ones go on the panels, on the side panels on the roof. Alright, and just like that, that is the H10 Optic build kit. Love this kit. It was fun to build. A little bit of slight inconveniences here and there. You know, it's part of it. It's an RC car. There's always going to be slight inconveniences, but it looks badass. I love the scale driver in there and the steering wheel. Yeah, I mean, first off thoughts. Love it. It's great. Can't wait to get it out on the road. Not on the road, out on the trails, race some hell, climb some rocks with it. And don't forget, after you see this video, there'll be another video coming out where me and our buddy Cody from Templar RC will be out, and we'll be doing straight off the bench, straight on the trail. So I won't drive mine yet. He's gonna go ahead and build his the way he builds them. I built mine the way I build them. And yeah, we'll see how they both perform with his build style versus my build style, and his driving techniques versus my just jam the throttle and hope for the best techniques. But yeah, that's it. And next we're gonna put some wheels and tires on it. I'm not gonna show that, but you will see it here. Just guys, that's it. There is the H10 Optic build. It's got the wheels and tires on it now. Some J Concept Tusks, like I said before. Battleborn wheels, 1.9s, 475 tire, Traxxas GTS 90mm shocks. They used the kit springs from the Optic kit and the ball ends in the shocks to make them work. It's got the Fusion 2300 kV Fusion Pro, NSD RC 800 RS, or RS 800 direct power servo. I'll be running it on 3S LiPo. It's got the Incision steel drive shafts. What else did I do? 80mm shock oil, shock weight, 80 weight shock oil. There we go. Come on now. In the shocks, like I said, test drive it. Might be a little slow for me. It looks a little slower than all of my other rigs. I still have to solder in the power lead for the servo and make sure I got all the wires zip tied back so that nothing gets bound up when it's flexing and driving. And yeah, can't wait to get it out on the rocks. Can't wait to show you guys. Thanks for sticking along with this build. Like I said, one part build series. Might like it better than others. Let me know in the comments below if you like the in-depth part by part with the overhead shot or the side angle like this. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. I might end up painting this silver to keep that, and I know H10 makes some aluminum, I guess you call these tie rods that connect to this hydraulic ram that moves when you steer it. Keep that good scale look. A lot of people were saying that you don't get a whole lot of turning angle out of it, but I'm seeing pretty good turning angle. Make sure you set your endpoints right on your steering servo so that you don't tear anything up. And yeah, it's going to be hard to wait for Cody to finish his so that we can get out on the trail. I just talked to him today on the phone and told him to hurry up and order his parts. Make sure that they get here by this weekend so we can take her out for a spin. Thanks y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and stay tuned.